Alright, bear with me. I'm going to talk about knife today. I'm going to review the KC3 as well, but I'm going to go on a little rant. I've never done a video like this before, so just, bear with me. I just wanted to talk about knife in general in the FB scene as somebody who's been like in and out of the scene since I was, like 11 years old. It's been like 15 years. Had like multiple FB accounts, seen things come and go, brands come and go, and just noticing knife now that I'm back into it after about like a year ago. I started really getting back into more of the community aspect of it, and just seeing some shit that's really weird. I essentially want to promote people to check themselves a little bit because the divisiveness that this brand causes is like kind of baffling. And what I mean by this is, so recently Knife did a drop at Index on June, it was like June 27th or something. I don't know, because I don't live in Chicago. But a dude named, I think his name is Kieran Owens on YouTube, made a video talking about his experience going to a knife drop and talked about how people were cutting in line. There were people there bringing people to buy boards who had no idea what like fingerboarding was and all that stuff. Like, I assume so that they could have more boards to resell, which really sucks. And like people almost getting in fights and shit in the line just because people were cutting and just acting like fourth graders, is what it sounded like, which is, for a fingerboard drop, in my head, is just like the most insane thing ever. It's also embarrassing to act like that. And I think like just how, if people know Andy or like Andy through, like I don't know Andy, of course, but I've seen some interviews with him and like some stuff of him talking about knife, and he's like a genuinely likable, solid guy who seems like he's really doing it for the love of the game. And he's popular, which is really cool, but there's a lot of bullshit that's coming with it. I think about all the people too that don't hit on the drop, which I feel bad for, because I know a lot of people really just want to use these, like me. But you have fucking like resellers, poachers, and all these people just coming in and wiping everything out just to make a quick buck, which I guess I can't blame anybody for being attracted to that aspect of it, but it's also just so stupid. It's stupid for people that really just like doing this stuff and just really want to try a shape or like want to try a mold that these guys make, because they make great molds. Spoiler alert, I really like this board. There was an online drop for the same boards that dropped at Index. I managed to hit on it, was lucky enough to hit on it for a KL1, and I saw so many people, like every time knife drops I see on stories, people are just like, fuck this, I'm never going to try and get this again, like I better see people using boards, which I agree with. You go on like FB sale accounts and all you see is people reposting the screenshot of their order hitting and being like, throw me offers, throw me offers, throw me offers. And I will say, if you're buying one of these to like trade one with somebody, like for a snake house or a wood, like something else that's equally difficult to get, totally understandable. But fighting people in lines, acting crazy in their DMs, like cursing them out, telling them they don't make enough boards, which if you see how many of these are in circulation, they make plenty of boards. And I think also in that Kieran Owens video, after all of the fighting and the arguing and the line cutting and all the weird shit that was going on there, everybody basically got a board from what he said. Like, they had plenty of boards. So it's just like, it's really frustrating, and I feel for the team, the knife team, because when they say they make a shit ton of boards, I believe them. I just think online drops are so huge that people all over the world want to get them. Like, now they distribute to Europe, they distribute to Japan. It's insane. I quickly wanted to make an addendum to the section that was coming up. I deleted it because I feel like I was coming down too hard on folks that get discouraged and frustrated when they don't hit on the drops, especially coming from somebody who has, that's just a little rich, I guess. So I wanted to be a little self-aware and just say that as somebody who has a knife and has been using one for a good while, granted, I only have experience with the one shape and the one mold. They're great boards, but please don't get too upset about not hitting, because they're not going to make you a better fingerboarder. They're special enough in their own way, and I don't want to take anything away from like the work that they do, because they make great decks, and it is a deck that I will love to use for a long time. But just don't get too discouraged. Especially don't be DMing Andy and the knife team talking shit about how they don't make enough boards, or they don't do this, or they don't do that. They drop something and people flock to it, and that is both a blessing and a curse. And knocking them for not having enough boards just for you to get as well, like, they're doing all they can. They're limiting everything to one board, and they're canceling every order that is multiple boards. They're doing literally the best that they can to keep up with demand, and I know that and believe that because you can watch interviews with Andy and you can see the photos. Sometimes they'll post photos of how many boards they're making. There are hundreds of boards. Like, the proof's in the pudding, and they work hard, and they shouldn't have to explain that to everybody every single time that they drop. So I understand the frustration. I understand how annoying it is, especially knowing what we know about reselling and that whole fucked up market. Which, by the way, please don't spend $200+ on a knife, especially if you're just meaning to use it. Like, just be patient. You'll hit on the drop. They are worth retail price. I don't know of many boards at all that I would pay that much for. They would have to be like super special, rare, I don't know, like Wood style craftsmanship, all that stuff, whatever. But, to each his own, and I won't drag anybody for that or shit on anybody for that. But I would just encourage you not to, because people are fleecing you for $250 for a knife. Like, that is so much money to be paying for one of those. Or to be paying for basically any fingerboard at all. Like, that's just an absurd amount of money. When you can get so much good quality stuff for so much cheaper from other makers that you can support within the community. And I know y'all know this because you see the Instagram. There are so many accounts of companies just starting or companies that have been going for a little while that are all deck makers that can get you a high quality deck, cool shape, cool graphic, all that stuff right now, right this moment. So just wanted to say that. Leave them alone. Don't be talking shit in their DMs. That's lame. We don't want to do that. That's not what this is all about. So that was my point that I didn't make very well in the old section, and now it's this section. With that all being said, I'll review this deck now, which feels weird now that I've just ranted. KC3, it's a 36 mil. It's the Andy Cole Pro model, I think. I don't know what this graphic is called. I liked it. I bought it. I was lucky enough to buy it. I have some Jindies on here, some 34 Jindies with the dual Duro J4s, which I've really been enjoying. It's been through, I've used BRTs on this. I've put Kraken trucks on this. Use it with different wheels, all manner of different setups. And this is the best one that I found. But I also have a huge bias towards Jindies because I just love how they feel and I love how tall they are. It's a very strong shape, as you can tell, which is not always what I do. These are like equal nose and tail, pretty sharp kicks, very defined dips, and a pretty distinct concave, which is not always what I prefer. I usually prefer stuff like this, which, by the way, if you're going to pay $40 for a deck and you want to actually get one, get a Stung deck, because, look at this thing. It's gorgeous. But yeah, I'm more attuned to like a medium shape with a concave. I do like concave. But yeah, it's a great deck. I just, and the hype is insane around it. And people act insane about them. and I guess I can see the appeal, but even this being like my most used deck for a good while and enjoying it a lot, y'all don't need to break your backs to get one. Please don't pay $250 for one of these. It's so not worth it. From a collector's perspective, I can see how it could be like people wanting to complete sets of like the line hand graphics or any of the other graphics. Like that's cool and all from a collector's perspective, but please don't pay $250 or like $300. I've seen some of these go for like $350. It's insane. Yeah, I hope that everybody hits on a knife drop. I hope that everybody loves them because I love these decks, but it's so not worth the hassle, and it's so not worth DMing these guys talking shit. It's fourth grader activity. Stop doing that.